Welcome everyone to a brand new adventure. We're calling this one The Magic of Maps, a time-traveling journey. So, are you ready to explore the world with me today? We are going to go on an epic journey to uncover some of the most incredible secrets of our planet, how we actually explore it, and the absolute geniuses who help us find our way.
But first, I want you to imagine something for a second. Picture yourself in the middle of a giant, spooky forest, or maybe sailing on a massive, endless ocean. Now, how do we know where anything is without our phones? Seriously, think about it. Before smartphones and glowing digital screens, how in the world did anyone know where they were going?
Well, we're going to find out. Just a super quick note before we jump in. This explainer is produced by Waqas Ahmed Shah, an educator and AI agents and automation builder based out of Karachi, Pakistan. All right, let's dive right in and travel all the way from the ancient days of brave explorers to the incredible high-tech space satellites of today.
Our journey begins with one very important tool, the map. So what exactly is a map anyway? Well, technically, a map is a two-dimensional, flat view of an area. You can kind of think of it like a giant, flattened-out picture of the ground taken from way up in the sky. And having this flat drawing of real places is literally a game changer. It helps us understand what different places are actually like, and most importantly, it lets us plot a route right there on paper so we never ever get lost when we travel.
Honestly, maps are basically like secret decoders. They don't just show us where the mountains and rivers are. Oh no, they show us so much more than that. I mean, they show physical features, sure, but they also show cities and roads so we actually know how to drive from one town to another. They show political divisions, the invisible borders between different countries. And get this, some special maps even show the climate and weather, or exactly how many people live in a certain area, and even where certain crops grow or hidden minerals are found. It's the whole shebang.
Now, making these maps is definitely not easy. It takes a ton of talent. Do you happen to know what we call the people who make these amazing tools? They're called cartographers. You can totally think of cartographers as the brave, specially trained map makers who document our entire world. They're kind of like geography superheroes. They have the highly special skills needed to both draw and read these maps perfectly accurately.
A time machine to maps. Let's hop right into our time machine and see exactly how these brilliant cartographers worked their magic throughout history. Buckle up.
So, people have actually been making maps for over 4,000 years. And back then, map making was a wildly complicated task. Cartographers had to rely on brave explorers to physically travel to faraway, dangerous lands by walking or sailing for months, and then come all the way back just to describe what they saw. Fast forward a bit to the 6th century BC, and the ancient Greeks did something absolutely amazing. They were the very first to create a map of the world using mathematics. They literally used math, like a cool superpower, to figure out the shape of the world. And that huge leap forward leads us to the year 1492, when a German cartographer named Martin Behem teamed up with a painter to create the earliest terrestrial globe. He actually made a physical ball to show everyone that the Earth is round.
But wait, get ready for a pretty crazy fun fact. Martin Behem's famous globe from 1492 was actually missing the Americas. No way, right? Yep, North and South America were just completely missing from his globe. Why? Well, because even the smartest early mapmakers didn't know everything yet. Explorers from his part of the world simply hadn't mapped that side of the planet. It just goes to show how much of a giant puzzle the world was and how much we still had left to discover.
Now, let's fast forward all the way to today and look at the difference between the old ways and the new ways. In the past, explorers walked for months or even years, and those cartographers we talked about drew everything incredibly slowly and carefully by hand. But today, computers and the internet have made this task a breeze. We have highly advanced satellites floating way up in space doing all the heavy lifting and investigating for us. Because of these computers and space satellites, we get everyday tools like Google Maps and Google Earth that show us locations with more precision than was ever humanly possible before, and they do it in literally seconds.
The secrets of map colors. Now that we know exactly how maps are made, we need to learn how to actually read them. Let's unlock the secret universal color code cartographers use so anyone, anywhere in the world can understand their maps.
Let's test your map reading skills for a second. Think about the color of water. When you look at a map, what do you think the color blue represents? Yep, you guessed it. Blue always means oceans and rivers. Whenever you see those heavy blue areas on a map, you instantly know you're looking at a body of water.
And what about the physical features of the Earth itself? Well, brown is the universal map code for land. So when you see brown, the cartographer is showing you the solid ground, stuff like dirt, hills, and mountains. Blue for water,
brown for land. It really is that beautifully simple.
You guys are well on your way to becoming real map masters. Let's do a super quick recap just to lock in all this incredible knowledge we've gathered today. First, we learned that maps are flat, two-dimensional drawings of real places that help us understand our world and plot out our routes. Second, we discovered that cartographers are those specially skilled map makers. Third, we traveled back in time to see how explorers and ancient Greeks mapped the past using math and a whole lot of bravery. Fourth, we saw how modern computers and space satellites map the present with amazing speed and precision. And finally, we cracked the cartographer's secret color code. Blue equals water and brown equals land.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to really spark your imagination. If you were a cartographer today, using all our cool satellites and high-tech computers, what unexplored place would you map first? Are we talking the absolute deepest part of the ocean, a thick, mysterious jungle, or, hey, maybe even a brand new planet? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible mapping adventure. If you had a good time learning about our world today, please be sure to like this explainer, subscribe to the channel, and follow along for even more exciting learning adventures. See you next time, explorers!